Hello, I'm Hannah, an archivist at the East Riding Archives. Part of the work we do at the archives is to showcase our collections. So in this video I'm going to start with the official home of the archives, the traditional market town of Beverley in East Yorkshire. So I hope you've got comfy seats engaged and tea and coffee at the ready. So here we are at the archive repository. Let's take a historic tour through Beverley using some of our postcard and photograph collections. It's the early 20th century and our first stop is the corner of Flemingate as we make our way across the town from one church to another. Straight ahead you can see the east end of Beverley Minster. The wall of the building on the left is covered in poster sheets advertising events and plays, including one for the Hull Palace Theatre, which at the time was showing Hogmanay by J.L. Shine and other performances. If you look across to the right, you have some advertisement text painted on the wall for the tobacconist. And the building on the corner with the overhang, you can see it's starting to become a bit dilapidated around this time, after many years of being occupied by different businesses. This building was eventually demolished in 1912. If we turn to our right, we can now see the shop front of the tobacconist, which was advertised on the previous photo, and also the Sun Inn on the corner. The earliest recorded dates of the building appear to be in the 15th century, where it was originally 3 separate dwellings. Before it was the Sun, it was previously known as the Tabard, and records show mention of an inn in this location all the way back to the 1500s. This view of Highgate looks up to Wednesday Market, which is where the horse and cart are heading from. If we turned around we would see the road leading up to the Minster. Perhaps this is where those people are walking to. Next to the Man and the Dog is a jetted timber frame building, which was numbers 6 and 8 Highgate. This building dated from the 15th century and was later demolished in the 1950s. Now this is a familiar sight to me as someone who works in the new extension to this building. This is the public library around the year 1906 to 1908, back when Champney Road was known as Well Lane. The library was funded by John Edward Champney, who was the son of a Beverley solicitor. After his death in 1929, his book collection and some pieces of art were bequeathed to the library and art gallery. The building itself was designed by John Cash and is now a Grade 2 listed building, as it's a really good example of Edwardian philanthropy. And here is the grand opening of the library itself on the 8th of August 1906. The mace bearer leads at the front, followed by the Mayor William Spencer and his guests. So here we are at Wednesday Market, behind this wandering dog, with views right across to the corner of Eastgate. Sugden's bookseller and stationers is on the left hand side, and then Hayward's chemist. Just beneath where it says High Class Teas, you have N.J. Gray's grocer shop. That chimney may look like it's coming from the rear of the railway tavern, but it's actually from the foundry of Crosskill & Sons Cart and Wagon Works located on Eastgate. The premises were later acquired by Gordon Armstrong for the manufacture of his shock absorbers. Moving along from Wednesday Market, this view of Butcher Row is seen from the end of Walkergate and looks towards the south. The shops you can see are David Robson's hairdressers on the left, then at number 4 Butcher Row opposite you have Benjamin Nicholson's shop. Nicholson was a fish and game dealer and you can see his produce out on display. There's lots of activity going on here. This is where Toll Gavel meets Register Square, and it looks like people have gathered to watch the road being resurfaced. Toll Gavel was the main road through the town, so you'd expect heavy use in the days before it was pedestrianised in the 1980s. In the background you can see Marmaduke Ray's grocery shop and the chemist Mason and Booth Limited. If you walk down Toll Gavel today you can still see the snakes wrapped around those pillars on the shop front, harking back to the building's chemist past. Toll Gavel during this period was occupied by an array of businesses ranging from tailors and outfitters to repair shops. You could even purchase your own Kodak camera for the price of 5 shillings from Morley and Company. You could visit Stevenson and Pool's hatter and Glover's shop, or pop to the confectioner's. Sweet treats such as Fry's and Cadbury's chocolate were just as popular over a century ago as they are today. Lots of crowds have come to watch the East Yorkshire Regimental Band playing here at Saturday Market. Tucked into the top left corner you have the King's Head Inn. In the centre, Topless's shop is selling women's hats and clothing, and also carpets and rugs. The premises of Green's of Beverley can be seen on the right. Green's was a very long established printer, bookseller and stationers, who later ventured into selling general household goods. After over 180 years of trading, Green's closed down in 1976. It's all quiet at North Bar within as we now stand outside St Mary's Church with the road ahead leading up to the North Bar, which was a gate built in 1409. The road along Hengate is to our right. On the left is the historic Beverley Arms Hotel, which was first recorded as an inn as early as 1686. The inn was a posting house where horses could be changed after their journey on the turnpike road between Beverley and Hull. It was also known as the Bell, or the Blue Bell, and then in 1794 the Beverley Arms. And finally, we conclude this tour with this great view across the town as seen from the top of the tower at St Mary's Church. There are a few distinguishable features in this townscape: the impressive Gothic architecture of Beverley Minster and the brewery chimney on the left. The brewery was the Golden Ball Brewery, and it was owned by the Stevenson family and was located just off Toll Gavel. In the bottom right you can see the corner of Saturday Market with the King's Head Inn and also Topless's shop. So I hope you enjoyed the quick tour. Do look out for future videos, as there is of course much more of Beverley's places, its people and industries that I haven't even mentioned. These photos from our postcard collection only scratch the surface of what we hold at the East Riding Archives, so please do have a look at our website for more information on our collections, our projects and our opening hours. Thanks for watching.